people are waking up. People are waking up to the lunacy of what's been going on. And a lot of people are saying enough is enough, and they're taking their power back. If I can say so, I'm being very general here, but this is happening on so many levels. And I do believe that modalities like these are they are already taking off, but even more, they're going to become a lot more mainstream. Because I mean,
Right.
it's we the people. It's we the people. Word of mouth spreads, experiences. People's testimonies that spreads like wildfire, and nothing can
Mm.
stop that. Nothing can stop the truth. Welcome to the channel, John. I'm so excited to have you here again today. And how are you today?
Well, I'm excited being here. I'm very well, thank you. Every day is a good day.
Exactly. So we did an interview about, when was it? February last year, I believe, where we talked about Rife frequencies. And that was super, super powerful. And today, lately, I've been talking more about the scalar, which I actually have with me right now. I'll be showing you guys in a minute. But for someone who has never heard about Rife frequencies, scalar energy, how would you describe it?
Well, how would I describe a scalar? Scalar is like a static field. If you can think like a soap bubble, once a soap bubble is formed, it can remain stationary as long as no one comes along and pokes it. And that's very much like a scalar field. It's a static field, a non-moving field, which can transport information. Information can flow freely through the scalar field. It's kind of like using a regular electric field and a telephone. Telephones can transmit information through the airwaves. Well, I mean, cell phones do it through aerials. The scalar field can can broadcast information through that field. So I describe scalar as like a giant bubble that's forming, and information can be sent. And everything, Lisa, is information, frequencies, everything. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself in describing what scalar is by telling what it can do, but that's basically what scalar is. It's like when you have these two scalar boxes, it becomes like an American football shape.
I'm gonna show them.
And
So there's,
okay,
which one is that one? This is the receiver. So this is what they look like. So you basically have two of these and you link them with a cable, and then you're in the scalar field. And
that's right.
the further they are apart, the bigger the field.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um, the further they are apart, the larger the field, and the field becomes more pure as well.
Yeah, and so
So,
they do protect from, because you the scalar field alone, because you can use this as a scalar field alone, but then you can also add the frequencies, which we're going to go into in about a minute. Um, but I just wanted to touch on the scalar field alone helps to energize the mitochondria of the cell. And does it
right.
also help to protect yourself from Wi-Fi and all the electromagnetic noise that we are bombarded with every day?
It can do. The noise that you talk about is everywhere. So
Yeah.
you can't block it unless you go into what's known as a Faraday cage. But you can change its characteristics so it's not harmful. And
Mm.
that's what the scalar field does. It is like a shield that it creates. So if you're within the scalar field, the EMF still passes through, but it doesn't do harm to your body. And not just that, but because it gives each cell of your body more energy by charging the mitochondria, which are like the batteries of your cells, your your body's your body becomes better able to get rid of all these toxins. So yeah, the scalar field does a lot, but
Yeah.
um, the real magic comes with doing little things like, yes, you can connect a generator to Scala so you can broadcast frequencies, and that's all good. But the other two ways are absolutely amazing. You can use audio. There's an accessory that you can put onto the unit, and audio, these calming tones, which it can be music, it can be anything, Lisa. At the moment, we're working on protein audios, which can, and our bodies are made of proteins. It's life as proteins, and you can broadcast healing frequencies for any sort of problems that you may have or health enhancement that you wish to have. So that's using a generator. You can place substances on the receiver coil, and the essence of that substance is sent through the scalar field.
Yeah.
Any substances are expensive. They are expensive. That wasn't the word I was trying to find there. They are complex. It's not just one frequency for a substance. It's like a plethora of frequencies. And so a generator has got no chance of broadcasting them, even though there's been attempts in the past. But to place the absolute substance on the coil and broadcast it unadulterated, just pure. So it can be an essential oil, it can be anything.
I've heard people being able to get off of painkillers by
Yeah,
slowly weaning off the meds and then placing them on the coil to transmit into the scalar field. So basically, instead of taking a pill that has all these side effects, you're getting the effects of the pill, but through molecular imprinting.
that's right. That's right. There's nothing nasty for your body to get rid of.
Yeah.
So you're getting the benefits with nothing bad. That's one of the good things. The other good thing is that have you noticed, Lisa, how these kind of drugs are expensive? Is
Yeah.
it just me that's noticed this? But you buy one expensive drug, one expensive capsule, and you put it on the coil, and you've got it for life.
Yeah.
It doesn't wear out. It's just there, and the information within that capsule or pill or anything is there. The Russians did studies with Scala. In fact, they pioneered a lot of the Scala work. They would put chemotherapy drugs on I mean, this is quite radical, quite severe, on the receiver coil, and people riddled with cancer would be within the scalar field, and their cancers would disappear. What was
How
even
long would
better,
that usually take for the
oh, they
cancer?
were doing generally 6-month studies,
Yeah.
Lisa.
Wow, that's
But
amazing.
what was even more amazing was the effect became magnified when they took a sample of the tumor or whatever, even a blood sample, mixed that with this chemotherapy agent while the person was in the field, and the chemotherapy drugs would kill the cancer cells. The information, Lisa, the frequency information of these cells dying is broadcast into the scalar field, inducing the simultaneous death of the cancer within the patient.
Is that through
And so it's a
entrainment?
yes,
Yeah.
it is. So you know about entrainment. Wonderful.
Yeah, so
Uh,
for our audience, basically the law of entrainment is a quantum physics law where if you take a tuning, you have two tuning forks, you strike one tuning fork, the tuning fork next to it will start to vibrate at that same frequency. So that's basically the basic laws of
Absolutely.
entrainment in quantum physics. So we know that, our cells vibrate. And so if you get that frequency, you expose your cells to that frequency, it will entrain with that exact same frequency. And
You've done a better
again,
job of
I just want
explaining
to
than I ever could.
make a very quick disclaimer here because I have to abide by the YouTube laws. We are not claiming that this is curing any disease, but we are just sharing what is working and what hasn't worked. So I have to say this.
Okay,
I'm saying this for the wink.
sure, sure. Now, you did explain it very well, much better than I could ever explain it. The effect was absolutely amazing, but they found that that effect was short-lived because once those cancer cells had died that was in the glass which had the chemotherapy drug, then that information was lost. But then they put a glass of water on the transmitter coil, and that water absorbed that information. That's frequency entrainment. And then between the treatments, the person would sip on the water several times a day.
Yeah, so
And this
you can imprint
again
those.
magnified the results. Yes. So it's like a triple whammy. It was just absolutely incredible. So they were doing, I mean, not just cancer, Lisa, they were doing it with a lot of conditions, but I'm
Could
not really allowed to say.
we would have to take this interview to another platform because YouTube, unfortunately, there are things that we aren't allowed to say. But maybe I'll have
Right,
you when we have some time. I'll have you in my membership on my website where we can say whatever we want. So that's
right.
a topic for another day. But I wanted to say I've seen this trend lately of is it hydro H3 water, hydrogenated water?
Yes,
Could
yes.
you do that with the scalar? Could you imprint the water with those
You
frequencies?
can imprint water with any information. So you can get some of this H3O and H3O and put that on the receiver coil and put a regular water on the transmitter and get the information of
I
that
love
special
doing
water.
that with my water. I imprinted quite a lot, and you can taste the difference. The water that is imprinted usually tastes a little bit sweeter.
Yes, yes, there is a difference. But you try to explain to scientists and you get nowhere in a hurry.
Yeah, I mean, we are making a lot of progress. Where I would say the mainstream narrative, no, like they're not officially acknowledging that yet, but we are
Mm.
making progress in like a lot of
Yes.
people are waking up to the truth and to frequency and that we can heal our bodies and just it's not just about healing because I want to talk about this later on as well about the which many people don't know about the frequencies inside the Rife database you have because my channel is all about manifestation. So you have frequencies in there for um, one is called miraculous windfall of money. You have some for fat loss. For let's say we have used the right, we have used it, we got healthy, and now we just want to play around with it. I think those are
Yeah,
some fun ones to talk about later in the interview.
there are. There
Um,
are.
I wanted to share since I got the scalar so I have had for years, I always had this afternoon crash where I would need to have a nap. Otherwise, I would just not function as well during my day. So I would have these 20, 30-minute naps every single day, but it made me lose quite a lot of time in my daily routine. And so since I got the scalar, I sleep in the field. Um, I do not have an afternoon crash anymore whatsoever. I did not from day one that I started using it. I that tiredness, that chronic fatigue, completely gone.
A lot of people when they start using the Scala, Lisa, when they wake up, their feet touch the ground running.
Yeah. It gives you so much energy. For anyone wondering what it is like to be in the field, obviously you get used to it at some point. At first, when I was using it, there was just this your mood gets super elevated, you feel relaxed, and the sleep is just the quality of sleep is a whole different level. You sleep so well, you wake up feeling refreshed. And again, it energizes your cells. It's like it repairs your cells while you're sleeping.
No, that is true. A lot of people are giving that feedback. And then over time, that becomes the new norm. And so they may be thinking, well, the scalar hasn't got such a profound effect. And if they stop, then they discover what they had left behind.
Yeah.
They once again become tired. And
I notice it personally when I go outside in the world. It's like you're out in traffic or you're out in crowded places, and it's like you can't wait to get back home into that pure field of energy, is what I like to describe it. So people in my family who have tried it again, they love to come and sit in the scalar field because they just like the effects that it has. It has helped them reduce pain. And it's really profound the effects that it has on everyone.
it is. And we've had remarkable results of people. Um, I really don't want this video to be banned, so I've got to be careful
Yeah.
what I say, but incredible improvements in people's health and well-being by just having a regular field without any magic tricks of molecular modulation or generator modulation or harmony, which is the audio modulation, just having a regular field, just turning it on and tuning it.
Actually, I had an idea. I think I could upload um, a longer uncensored version on my website for this interview. So I'm going to cut this out for the YouTube interview, but if there's anything that you want to say that you can't say on YouTube, you can share it now. So permission to.
Okay, here we go. Here's my opportunity. We've made a lot of people very, very happy with the results that Scala has provided for them. It's, like when you've got no hopes, all of a sudden there's hope for them. It
Yep.
is amazing.
Yeah, there's, and also to speaking about this, the there's no, at least in my experience, since I have discovered the generator, so the Rife frequencies, and then just for our audience, if in case you don't know what is the difference, so you can use the Rife frequencies. I recommend first watching the first interview that we did. I'm going to link it somewhere here, and then you can use the Rife frequencies and apply it through Scalar. It's just a way of applying them. And so
Right.
for me, there's this calmness and this confidence that there is absolutely zero fear, and there's no fear about any health issues, because you have that confidence and that knowing that
That's right.
when if ever something were to show up, you know how to, what's the expression, nip it in the butt. Even,
It's
even
supposed to
as
be a
soon as
bud,
I,
isn't it? But butter's okay.
yeah. Even if you were to get
Yeah.
a cold or something, I always, it's like, I'm fine. I'm just gonna turn on the right frequencies and then it's gone.
Right, right. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's like having a doctor in your house all the time.
Yeah. I
Just,
actually,
just something.
I'm not sure if I could say this as well, but I have not seen a health professional, a DOCTOR since I got it, because I don't need it. I don't need it
Right,
anymore.
right,
And that's for those of you who don't know, I was struggling with an autoimmune disease, which is now, I have almost no symptoms anymore. So that's amazing.
right.
And one thing also that happened, when was it, early December, um my senior cat of 12 years had a medical emergency, and I am extremely thankful for what they were able to do, because he needed a blood transfusion, otherwise he would have passed away. So Western
Yeah.
medicine is amazing and so helpful and so needed in emergency situations. And so I'm very
Absolutely.
grateful for what they were able to do. But then they started telling me that if I were to take him out back home out of the clinic, he would only last a few days. And my
Mm.
intuition told me that is not true, because even the way that they were talking to me, it was very transactional. It was very, if you want to do this, it will be 5,000. If you want to do
Yeah.
this, it will be 6,000. We have to do all these tests. And I was like, I don't want to put him through that. If it is his time to go, then it will
Yeah.
be fine. He will be fine. I don't want his last moments to suffer having surgery and all these things. So I took him back
No.
home and I put him on the generator. And he sleeps sometimes in the scalar field as well. And he's here. He's still with me. So, that, I think that speaks for itself. And they told me he had only a few days left to live.
Isn't it lovely now proving these people wrong? Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
don't understand it. They don't understand it. It's like they have this, they they think you're speaking about some woo-woo shiny dreamland world, but it's science. It is science. It is
It is
just
science.
entraining your cells. It's the new paradigm of quantum physics versus, the old Newtonian physics.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I want to talk about one other application of Scala that we haven't touched on. I think you would have done this. Have you ever wanted something, or either physical or emotional or anything, and written it down on a paper and just slept on it or carried it with you next to your heart? Or I'd call it manifestation. You so much want this to happen. So you're putting it down on paper. Well, this is what we did. Well, what I did. I actually did it secretly. My wife didn't know, but we were wanting to have a child, and we didn't have any children, and we weren't watching much TV at the time. We just put it like that, and nothing. We were told by doctors that it's not going to happen, because of this and that and whatever. And so I wrote down on a piece of paper, you know, I want a child. I'd love a child. Please, please, universe, give me a child. And I wrote down the Ho'oponopono mantra. I'm sorry, please give me, thank you, I love you. And drew a heart, and I really, really, really put everything into it. That's what I was manifesting to the universe. And Lisa, that month after that month, we got our oldest child. And now we've got two. We've got our
Wow.
oldest one. And it was like, this was impossible. And that's that. I mean, we tried other things in the past, and we had come to the stage, Lisa. We paid for artificial IVF. We paid for it. We didn't get any refund, but we didn't really care. When the universe gave us the gift. But it was actually quite expensive, But isn't it so much better to have it naturally just given to you by the universe? This is,
Yeah.
and then I confessed, I said to my wife, what I'd done and everything. But she was all for it. She was, on the
I
same
love how you
side.
said I confessed. I confessed that I manifested it.
So there is a lot of truth in manifestation. Like I think if people did try it just with an open mind, they
Yeah.
would. Then they think, well, hang on a moment, that's never happened before, or what? If you've got an open mind, anyway.
Could you set since we're on that topic, could you set an intention into the scalar field? If you
That's what I
really,
was doing.
okay.
That's what I was
So I was
doing. I
wondering,
pu-
did you just write it
oh
down or did you use it with the scale?
oh, I wrote it down. I folded it neatly so my other half didn't read it, and put it on the receiver coil. And we were sleeping in the field, and so the intention, I was thinking, open mind. The intention would manifest into the scalar field from the paper.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing.
And
1 month after?
yes, not that month, but the one after that. And before IVF, they put you through a whole series of tests, and they said there's absolutely no way, really. It's just, you know,
And you had
more
a
chance.
healthy baby?
You should see her. She's very, very healthy and strong and happy and smart and everything that you want from your child.
Yeah.
And yeah, now we've got two healthy, smart, happy. Well, the youngest one, she's turning 2, and the oldest one, she's turning 5 soon, which is how we hadn't had Scala for long when I did this manifestation. So yeah, it all happened.
Yeah, amazing.
It's like a laser putting this manifestation sort of zooming in onto us as we're sleeping, and
It's almost, you
yeah,
can almost turn it into a manifestation vortex because it's like a vortex that you're sitting that or sleeping in. And again, you can set intentions. You can use it for your physical health, but also your spiritual health, your dreams,
yes,
your quality of
yes,
sleep. And then
yeah,
also when it comes to, you have this one frequency in the Rife database, which by the way, the software is free, so anyone could download it, right? It's open source,
of course.
which
Yep, yeah,
speaks
it's all.
speaks a lot to your values and anytime something is open source, to me that says a lot about the creator of
Yeah.
it. And so there's this frequency called miraculous windfall of money. So you could imprint your body with that frequency as well. I have tried it before and it does work. I have tried it on the generator X and it does work.
I was a bit worried about whether to include that, but people, um, by popular demand, insisted I leave it in there because for me, like, The focus of life, should be love,
Yes.
happiness, joy, and money kind of gets in the way. But um, again, people were wanting
Yeah, and it's
wanting
like
more.
that knowing that you're provided for and abundance and using
Yeah.
it for, of course, using it for the right reasons. Um,
Yes, yes.
And then there's another story that I wanted to share, which is just mind blowing because even I mean, I was believing that it was possible, but I didn't. Sometimes you need to really see things to really solidify that belief. So I had seen that there are programs for reversing gray hair, and I had seen that some people have reversed their gray hair in a few months, several months by using the frequencies. So what I wanted to share with you, John, is that I had this one gray hair on my head, which wasn't bothering me because it's just one gray hair, right? But it was very visible. And so I never used any program to reverse gray hair, but I've used other programs. And
Mm.
a couple months ago, I noticed my gray hair is gone. I can't find it anymore. And it was so, I mean, I have almost black
Oh,
hair.
no, that's sad. You've
It's
lost a friend.
it's completely gone and I'm just mind blown. It's like that gray hair reversed to a darker hair, which I didn't think was, I mean, I believed it was possible, but still there was like some resistance to it. I'm like, I've never really seen it happen, you know?
Mm.
But it did happen. And only as a positive side effect of the programs that I was using.
Right, right. It is the everything is frequencies, everything. So it just makes sense that programs that can do miracles are possible.
Yeah. Yeah. And when
Every
we've talked about this in my community, in my membership community, where we've talked about using the right frequencies and detoxing our body
Mm,
and charging ourselves with the scalar energy. It actually does raise your base level frequency because if you think of on the microscopic level, if you think of everything being frequency, those viruses and bacteria and heavy metals and all those things, they actually can lower the frequency of the body because they resonate at a much lower frequency. Indirectly, you're also raising the frequency of your body.
that's right. That's right. There's at any point of time there are freeloaders in your body that really want to get a foothold. And the more energy you can give your body so it can fight these invaders and keep things at bay, the better. Like everyone has got cancer cells, for example. Everyone. And there's mechanisms in our body to repel them, to get rid of them as it should. But at times when your immune system is down, like you're feeling super depressed, um, if you're low in sleep or something like this, something simple, then your immune system becomes less able, and the cancer starts getting a foothold. And that's a start. That's a seed of the really, really terrible disease. But it could be just something as simple as lack of sleep, lack of energy, something very, very simple in the beginning. But once the spark becomes a fire, it's so hard to get out.
Yeah.
And Scala, fortunately, has got the potential to do that. It's one of the very, very few things that has got that potential.
Yeah, I mean, because our bodies are even just naturally speaking, are self-healing. We cut our finger, it's healed in a week.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's like the scalar also helps our immune system to do its job more effectively.
absolutely. Absolutely. It gives the body what it needs. With the scalar field, b- um, you can't overdose on something. Once your body's received what it needs, including just basic scalar field energy, then it passes straight through you. It's like a sponge can only hold a certain amount of water. Once it's filled up with water, it's saturated, then the water just goes around it or through it. The sponge does not take in any more water, which is kind of cool because overdosing is not a nice thing. It does bad things.
Yeah.
On just about anything that you can take, even water can kill. um, overdose, which is, so it's kind of comforting to know that at least something you can't overdose in. And a lot of people, Scala's now a mature type of health giving device. It's not just released on the market. So we've got the benefit now of thousands of people having received them and tested them and reporting back. And not once have you ever had someone say they've overdosed on something.
Yeah.
They might put a multivitamin on the coil and have it broadcasting through the field, and they don't get an overdose of any of the ingredients in the multivitamin tablet, no matter how long they stay in the field. And people can keep in the field 24/7. And people do work within the field and sleep within the field, and they have no bad effects. Once the body's got what it needs, then it doesn't draw in anymore. So it's kind of cool.
It is. Like you can definitely do no harm with this whatsoever. And another question that I have for you is have do you know of people having used it for weight loss purposes with the right frequencies? Because I know there's quite some in the frequency database as well. And I kind of wanted to know your experiences with that. Do you have some stories of people being able to lose some weight with the frequencies?
Yes, well, weight may not just be a calorific formula. It could be that your body just holds on to water with the saline solution inside your body, or it could be that it's can't get rid of the waste, it prefers to put the energy to fat instead of maintaining the muscle. Um, the scalar field gives your body overall more energy. And so even without running any programs, Lisa, it's natural to lose a bit of weight. If you run programs that are specific for weight loss, um, if you choose a good program, and we have lots of programs for just about every condition you can think of, then yes, your weight starts shedding off, and the slide continues.
Yeah.
It's a bit what would have been very difficult becomes easier. Many people stop eating so much, and still the weight keeps on. You've got these fat reserves, but your body can't shift it because it hasn't got the energy to do so. It's so busy doing some other work elsewhere. Or your body just the cells, the waste disposal system in your body just doesn't have the energy.
Yeah, because
And
it's like
so
loaded with toxins and all these things.
yeah, all the garbage.
Yeah.
So Scala helps in many ways to help people lose weight. Of course, we always recommend it's not just the scalar field is also wise to eat the right foods and have a good frame of mind and go out for walks and that. But complementing that, scalar is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. I noticed, many people go on the detox protocol because there's a 11-day detox protocol just to make your body
Yes.
kind of get rid of the noise inside, that may prevent you from once you get rid of all that noise, it's much easier for the frequencies to even be more powerful. And so a lot
Right,
a lot of people actually lose weight just doing the detox because it's like you're getting rid of so much stuff, and so now your body actually has time to work on healing, work on, kind of getting rid of excess water or whatever is causing that excess weight. I've noticed
right. If you
too, the first time that, not that I needed it, but the first time that I did the detox, I did lose 2 kilos, which is what, is that 4 pounds? Something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm a kilo person, so I
Oh,
I
okay.
don't do the conversion. I think it's 2.2.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a few. Yeah, it's quite a lot, and you haven't got much to lose, so you would have certainly seen it. Yeah, the when your wellness is increased, then there's big changes in your body, not just with weight, Lisa, but also how whether your skin's got a glow to it, a natural glow, how you're sleeping, the energy levels that you have, whether you can walk without pain, or move without pain. Yeah, it's your body doesn't want it to be sick, but if it's got worms, for example, in your body, or that program you're mentioning, that part of that, a few of the steps, I should say, of the terrain protocol is removing parasites like worms. And these invaders, not only do they eat the goodness that you're eating, which should have gone to your own body, but they bloat you up. Because they also damage the inner walls of your intestines because they latch on. And then they scratch it, then the food particles go directly into your bloodstream. Then you develop allergies because the white cells don't know what these proteins are. They're doing raw. You don't want to have raw food particles in your blood. That's what's happening. So you develop these allergies to all crazy things, and that's what's happening worldwide. Really now, it's kind of becoming a bit rampant, um, because people's basal, which is the baseline health level, is dropping. But
Mm.
if they do something simple like get within a scalar field and just let Mother Nature look after it, what our bodies, then miracles happen. So, okay, you go inside a scalar field, you sleep better, which is good for the immune system. You can run these programs to get rid of these invaders, which is good for your immune system, good for everything, because your body can focus the energies where it's needed.
Exactly. Yeah, and people do start looking different when they go after a few months of using the treatment, because it's like they start to have this glow. Even in our last interview, you showed a photo of a person that had the C word, and you can see on his face that he looks different.
Oh,
He
yeah.
he's more
Sometimes you can
glowing.
see someone that, I'm sorry?
He's glowing more.
Yes, yes. And the glowing is like a life force. You can see when people get very, very sick, they start looking pale. That's the first thing that happens. And their skin loses the gloss. And you look at them and you think, well, something's wrong with them. Without even asking, you kind of know, right? They give off this aura as well.
Yeah,
But when someone's is bubbling with life, it's like chalk and cheese. You can see the glow in the cheeks, the shine, the everything.
yeah,
And then you see the energy levels and doing things they shouldn't really be doing at that age. Like they're,
exactly.
they've got the vigor of youth. Even people that are getting on in years, they can do daily activities like, I don't know, putting, not many places you put the milk out nowadays, but go out to check the mail, for example, right? Wouldn't it be dreadful, Lisa, to go out and every step you can feel the pain in your knees, your joints, like that is not a life, is it? That is just being
Yeah,
here and being tolerant. But to live a life without any pain and you don't even consider it, don't even think about it. Well, Scala can do that by just sleeping in the field. And if you set it up across your bed, try and keep the boxes as far away as possible because the further the boxes are apart, more pure the field. You forget about the fact that you've got a scalar field running. It doesn't take much power, and you
no,
just forget. And then you think, gosh, actually I can do something which I couldn't really do before. I'm feeling more flexible, for example. I can clean my back, and I had pain going there before. Or something like this. And then you think, oh, that's right. I've got a scalar unit in my bedroom. I'd totally forgotten I did that last month, or a few months ago even. And they find it's so gradual, the improvement. But when you realize it, it's like, wow. And that is the new you.
it is.
That is your new baseline.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the whole age thing, that we get, um that our health declines with age, that's a lie. That's not
It is
supposed to
though.
happen. And even
No,
if if we go back into the ancient texts of the Bible or so, people used to live 900 years. I mean,
that's
that
right.
that that was the thing. Um
Well,
I don't
Noah
think
died
that all
early,
of this
didn't
is
he?
natural, but they made it natural. They made it look, sorry, what?
Oh, Noah died an early death. Noah died at 500, or just a bit over 500. Yeah.
Yeah, an early death.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Um, I think that's a lie that we've been told, and age is just, getting sick with age. And and even looking terrible with age. I don't believe that that's not true. If we keep our bodies healthy and we know exactly what to do,
Yeah.
obviously food and lifestyle play a huge role in that, but also guiding more light and frequency into ourselves. I mean, that's amazing, right? And we don't have to suffer as
Mm.
we get older. That's a lie.
No. I think that it's a lie that's propagated because it's very lousy for a government to have an awful lot of bicentennials to pay for their retirement fund and not so many people working. That would suck. That would, if I was a government, I wouldn't be happy, I guess. Well, no, I don't know. I don't think I'd want to be a government. Because everyone hates you. But it doesn't make economic sense.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole agenda that they have, and I do believe that soon will. I don't know how long soon will be, but that will be. No, I don't see that being a reality for too much longer. I
I
see.
hope you're right. I can see you're an optimist.
Yeah, I do see, I mean, people are waking up. People are waking up to the lunacy of what's been going on. And a lot of people are saying enough is enough and they're taking their power back. If I can say so. I'm being very general here, but this is happening on so many levels. And I do believe that modalities like these are they are already taking off, but even more, they're going to become a lot more mainstream. Because, I mean, it's,
Right.
it's we the people. It's we the people, word of mouth spreads, experiences, people's testimonies that spreads like wildfire, and nothing can
Mm.
stop that. Nothing can stop the truth.
Well, as long as there's channels where you can broadcast
That's a whole
unadulterated.
other problem. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a dark. Let's hope this is the bottom, and the only way is up from here, because it really is difficult to have conversations like we are now and bite our tongue, not really say the real hard truth, which is going to make the video banned. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly. We are living in a world that is just it's heavily controlled, the information that gets out there. And that is why more and more people are having independent, websites where they have the freedom of speech and where they can share um the truth, because the truth is, as we all know, unfortunately heavily censored.
mm. Now, I guess many people may have difficulty consuming or believing the truth because there's been several generations, Lisa, of these lies or at least cover-ups. And then all of a sudden, wow, and then their formal training says, no, that's not possible or that's wrong. And that's the next obstacle, I guess, like untrain people.
Yeah. That's where manifestation comes in as well. It's undoing everything that we believe in our subconscious of what gets to be possible and what doesn't, and our whole relationship to life in general. I always like to ask myself this belief, um, whatever belief it is that we are maybe wanting to get rid of because it's not helping us. I always like to ask the question, in a court of law, is that true for everyone? Let's say, for example, you believe that your circumstances can't get better, it can't change, you've been stuck for so long. If you go to court and you ask, is that a truth, a universal truth for everyone? Well, the answer is no. And so if that's a
That's
no,
right.
that's a good thing, because that means we can change it.
That's right. And there's another part to that too, Lisa. Anything that you can visualize yourself, you can put yourself there.
Exactly. And
It's hard.
imagine
Yes.
amplifying our manifestation powers with the scalar field, because you're in such a pure field.
Wow.
I'm actually
Yeah.
going to do that now, because I hadn't used it yet for that, because I was
Ah.
so satisfied with it, just sleeping in it and feeling good. Let's say I come home one evening and there was just traffic, and I'm very sensitive to energy, so sometimes I feel quite, just a noise that happens in the outside world. I
Yeah.
go in the field and it's like peace. You feel peaceful and relaxed. Another thing is, could this, like, let's say we would turn on, it's not on right now, but let's say we would turn on the scalar field on video. Like I would put the zoom here and I would put it between the scalar field and I would set the intention that every viewer watching would get the benefits. Could it be transmitted that way through quantum physics?
It will be transmitted through the power of intent.
Mm,
So I think so. I think so. It's what we do actually. You know, we're a really lousy company because we do things that are bad for business, but are really good for humanity. And we manifest love and a lot of, you know, forgiveness and everything to as many people as we can. And we obviously we pray for, you know, global peace and all the rest of it. And the changes we've seen since doing this has been quite remarkable. So yes, what you're saying now, absolutely. People that would view the video would receive it because that is your intent. Intent isn't, it has no restrictions.
yeah.
You can but I think Scala would focus the intent, but there's no restrictions on intent. It's like you can the person can be anywhere, but you don't know where, but your intention can find, if you like, that person and go to that person if that is what you wish
Yeah.
and that is what you want to manifest. There's no limits at all.
That
And when you go diving into it, in absolute science, there's no such thing as distance.
there isn't. Thought,
There isn't.
thought is the fastest, I mean, fastest traveling mechanism, right, in the universe. Because we live in a thought-based universe. Everything is conscious.
Yeah. That's right. There's there's so many things that science can't explain. Like they can't explain, okay, if you've got one daughter, you love that daughter 100%. You've got two daughters, you love them both 100%. It doesn't halve one for the other. So what is the quantity of love? What is the measure? And how can something that's halved become unchanged? It's like all these things that science is trying to grapple with, but because the mindset is so Western, so
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
they just it might be a while before they catch up with us.
Yeah. Yeah, it is true because, even on the platforms with the algorithms, they serve you what you watch. So me being a manifestation, our channel being a manifestation channel, it's like that's also what I'm getting suggested, right? But then when I go out in the world, here, especially in Europe, I still see the majority of people living in the old paradigm. And it's like there's this frustration sometimes that happens where it's like if you just would use the laws of the universe of quantum physics and entanglement and intention and manifestation, the world would be completely
Yeah,
changed. Like we would have a new world. But I do see that emerging. Like it's gonna take some time maybe, but what is those few years that it will take in like the spectrum of eternity? I see both coexisting still. Some people are freeing themselves, others are staying in the old paradigm, and ultimately it's a matter of choice. We all have free will and we can choose.
we can. All we can do is show people, I guess, and
Yeah.
they can make their own choice as to
That
whether to start down the path or to keep down their own gravel road.
Yeah, because I always say just try it on like a new pair of shoes. You don't have to wear it. It's not a life commitment. Just try it and because it's like people are complaining, but it's like or they don't believe in this, but then it's like, well, how has that been working for you? If it hasn't been working, then try something new. And if that's working, great. You can keep doing it, but just having the openness to actually try new things, I think that's where it starts.
I think, yes, that's right. Many people don't have the openness. They're not, it's like they're comfortable where they are. They're comfortable by their uncomfortable life, but at least it's familiar. Maybe it's familiarity and they don't know what they're missing out on
Yeah. It's
for
like I always
them.
say, you
But
don't know what you don't know. You don't
Yeah.
know that there can be better. And I think like you said it perfectly. A lot of people are very comfortable in their discomfort.
Yeah. Well, I've seen it so many times. I even see it in my own family, where, and in particular, their way that they treat health issues and things. To me, it's crazy
Yeah.
that they're reactive rather than being proactive. That they'd rather like put out these fires, but not stop the sparks.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Well,
sad. I mean, yeah.
that's why we have
It's
channels like these and companies like yours to spread the word. And the truth will always prevail. The light will always prevail. And our time, unfortunately, is coming close to an end here.
okay.
But
Okay.
if there is something that you want to share with the audience, what are your final words? What are your final thoughts?
Um, Past love forwards. There is no limits to your love.
I love that. I love that. Love is the most powerful force in the universe.
Should be the currency instead of dollars and cents and dimes or whatever.
Yeah.
I,
Unfortunately, we can't pay our groceries in with love.
but hugs would be nice every now and then.
That would be fun. That would be fun. What's your love bank account? How much love do you have in there? That would,
Yeah.
some would be very, very wealthy and some would be poor.
But some things in life can't truly have got no value, no monetary value, but are infinitely valuable.
It was so nice talking with you today. And
Oh,
for
same.
anyone who wants to go deeper into Rife frequencies and wants to check out John's website, so there's the past video that we did about a year ago that I'll link in the description box and somewhere here. And then also we do have a discount code for anyone who is interested in either the Generator X or the Scalar. Both can be used together. So that's Lisa 1111. So anyone wanting to use that, you have a discount. The link will be down below. And yeah, it was so fun chatting with you. I could chat with you for hours on end, and we'll probably have you back on the channel again at some point.
That'd be wonderful. Hey, God, just want to make a comment. I mean, this isn't for the video, but it's been a year, but you actually look younger than the previous one. But now I know why. It's a scalar field.
Well, we can keep that in the video. Thank you. It is. It is. I mean, people have been saying, there's like a glow, and
Yes.
yeah, I
Yeah.
I do believe that it's because I didn't change anything. I didn't do anything differently. So we're aging. We're Benjamin Buttoning. We're aging backwards here.
Yeah, great. Okay, you take care. Thank you very much for having me on your show. It's
Thank
been
you.
been
Thank you so
wonderful.
much for your time.